How do we overcome fear of living your true purpose? All the mental conflict and the negative thought frequencies that pull at you. Okay. And what we're talking about today is I want to be action driven. I want to actually, instead of just saying, oh, you do that by, and just becoming a talking head, I'm going to show you some examples of why, if you follow what I'm saying to do, why it will work. Okay, so just give me a quick minute. I'm opening up something. I'm actually going to show you me opening it up. That way you know exactly how to get to it and how to do it. All right. Okay, so what you're looking at here is you're looking at a screen share of Secret Energy 4.0, which is a new website. And right here, you'll see this tab for menu. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to click on this called Cosmic Energy. Click on that. And where it's going to take me to is it's going to take me to a page that gives me all of the correspondences of the energy that is moving through the day. I am answering the question here, but I'm going to answer it for this person if they listen once and for all, especially when it comes to conquering fears, dealing with mental conflicts, and specifically frequencies, because that's what was mentioned, frequencies that pull on you. Now, what we know when we study frequencies is we know that two of the same frequencies cancel each other out, right? So we speak on frequency a lot, and we speak on that everything has a frequency, but we also have to come to the awareness and the soundness that two frequencies still do cancel each other out. So this is why this chart that I'm showing you has so much power, because everything that is bringing you a discomfort or is taking you into a zone that you do not want to be in is throwing you off balance. And so to obtain balance, you must follow the laws of balance. The laws of balance are already in play. How do you know that? Because there's a cosmos. You don't see really the planets smashing into each other often. There's this level of balance that is being maintained out there. And there's a system of balance that is always in play, and it stretches all the way into the deepest spaces. So that means Earth actually abides by this same system. Now, whether we abide by it or not, with this free choice that we have at times to choose different things, we do have it. I know somebody was saying the other day, we don't have free choice, and that's just well, you don't have it. But our parents, they gave it to us. Now, if you gave it away to somebody else, like your thoughts, that may be something totally different. But specifically, we do have choice. We actually can dial in frequencies and vibrations, and those are our choices. Those are our tools. How we think, what we say, those are our choices. Those are our tools. So let's just highlight very briefly here. We're on Sunday. And what is necessary is it's necessary for, especially the neophyte and the initiate studying to become an adept, follow the correspondences of the energy that is coming across for the day. Now, it is also very difficult to find these correspondences, meaning that there's a lot of information out there over the years, hundreds of years. Even Agrippa's work is in itself charts of correspondences of energies, but it's so off. So wild. It's as if somebody was attempting to confuse everyone about these correspondences because they're the most powerful things. And the reason why I'm taking a little bit of time in answering this question, because I'm actually just going to refer to this question when I have to look at some other ones and say, hey, follow what I said on the first question when I answered that first question. Because all the solutions to all of the problems that humanity has is contained here within these days of the week of resonance. And it's because what the laws state is that for every single energetic form, there is a klipot or a shadow. And what this shadow is let's say, for instance, you have a shadow because there's parts of you that you don't know about. We call that what's still in the darkness. And when you overshadow someone or influence, notice you can be bought under a planet's influence. But since every person is a celestial body, you can be bought under the influence of someone else's energy. So too, different objects and items that correspond to those planetary or celestial bodies can also bring a certain level of influence over you. And this is known about. This is the whole of occultism. I know that some would want to see more, but you see nothing until you master this system. Every single day, being able to pop this off like you do your favorite rap song or your favorite song that you love. You're able to pop off all the lyrics because you've been listening to it all the time and you're able to repeat everything about it. But now it's time for us to be mature. It's time for us to reach adepthood. And that's by taking the time to actually learn the correspondences of the energy that comes across today in order to lock into the synchronicity of the cosmos. And once you do that, you will be able to see everything around you and be able to determine the ma'at or the math or the numbers, which are archetypes that are associated with the energy that is around you. And then when knowing that when you're doing something that is not going to be favorable at a certain time, or you're going to be exposed to an energy that is going to throw you off balance, you are then able to use the opposing matching force, meaning that you're able to nullify the shadow side of that energy by being in alignment with the awareness of even having the right gem on that deflects that energy. And again, because all this is energy, when you wear the corresponding things to certain energies, you attract those energies. When you also wear the corresponding energies that deflect certain things, you nullify those energies. So for instance, let's say if you went into the courtroom, okay, the court is all Saturnalian. It's all the order. It's all the rule. And that's sometimes what people confuse about the occultism and the whole Saturn side of things. Saturn being the most malefic planet, meaning Saturn will kill you. It is a martial planet just like Mars, so it will go to war with you. This is all a part of the matrix. So instead of being this starry-eyed pacifist, which we've seen over thousands of years, have never propelled the society in the direction that it should go. Instead of doing that, you become a master magus and learn that actually to deflect the what you would say is shadow side of Saturn, it only takes to wear the blue sapphire. So when you're walking into court, you would have the best chances of getting across what you need to get across. Now, some look at magic as something they want to abuse. Like, oh yeah, so now I'm going to go do something bad, and then I'm going to go and then use this ring and get out of the trouble. That's neophyte stuff. That's actually going to probably even work even worse with those kind of intentions, because our intentions are the strongest force. And then you're able to utilize these energies when you're in alignment, when you're in order, when the cosmos is on and in your side. I'll just say it like that. When the cosmos is in your side or in your favor, you're able to then resonate properly, and then you're able to get things done. You're moving with the force of the cosmos. But that's how important this is. And while in life now we have so much information that's out there, this is really the only information that is really important first, especially for anyone just beginning this, because then all your fears would be removed or would lessen because you were around the energies that fortify you and actually give you the balance in the areas that you're vulnerable. So when you're feeling a fear, it's because you have a hole or a leak somewhere. So these are the electrochemical and the frequency-based correspondences that are necessary for correcting those imbalances. Now, these imbalances are always going to take place. This is not me harping on you and saying, oh, you're doing it the wrong way. These imbalances are going to take place because, let's say, what is balance? Balance is keeping what you have in balance. So if you throw a new package on me, I need to balance that new package. If you throw more energy on me, I need to balance that new energy. if I come into another energy field, I got to balance that energy field. I call this the mathematician, the ones that are the connoisseurs of life that are actually looking to maintain balance at all times. Because when you have a lot of power and you come out of balance with it, you destroy things. So really the worst thing is to come out of balance. So you're always looking to find balance. That's why they show you the Mayat weighing the heart against the feather and all this. It's all about balance. But to maintain that balance, especially when you're constantly coming into different energetic fields, you're learning new things. So now that's been added to your energetic body. And all of that now needs to be balanced. So if you're rolling with the cosmos and you understand the energies in there when they're coming across, you know when you're coming out of balance, you know when you're on perfect balance, you know how to tip your scales with other different things. So that's what this is truly about. That's what it is to be adept. That is what it is to be an occultist or a magus.